One of the biggest reasons that people don't set boundaries is that they just don't feel confident enough. And that feeling is very real. I'm here to validate that, not make you feel less. Because setting boundaries can feel very uncomfortable, can't it? And it can feel really, really awkward and even scary at times, depending on who you're trying to set that boundary with. Maybe it's a parent, maybe it's a sibling, maybe it's a figure in your life that you've always looked up to and you went to advice from. And most especially, just if you're not used to speaking up for yourself. But here is the myth. The confidence is something that you don't need before you start. That is something that comes on your journey. That is something that grows with you. In reality, confidence is something that you build on once you've started. Okay, that's really, really important. So it comes from doing the thing. So whatever the thing is, whatever your boundary is, it comes from taking that action, that confidence. And you do it when your voice is shaking and when you're unsure and when it feels messy. Just do it, because if you wait until you feel confident, you'll be waiting forever. Now, you've heard me talk before about how me personally, I went on a journey and I did some research first, and I got all the information that I needed when I wanted to make some drastic changes in my life. To the board, I talk about it like a chessboard, and positioning people, in terms of like importance of where they are. Or you could use a pyramid scheme, or a bubble, or whichever your analogy is. But I feel like everybody sort of like moves around in our lives, and they come in. Sometimes they're more valuable to us than others, and sometimes we go in cycles where we see each other all the time and it's great, and then sometimes we go through a long period of time where we don't see each other and everything's still fine, and then sometimes that distance creates a bit of distance, emotional distance between us. But so you've heard me talk about doing that before. Now, when I say that you don't need to wait forever to feel confident and you should just dive in and do it, waiting to feel ready is not quite the same. And I was given the same, the same advice when I was considering ending my marriage. It was like, oh God, am I ready for this? Like, I've got X, Y, and Z reasons why I feel this way, and I felt this way for a really long time. But am I ready? Am I ready for all the change that's going to bring to my life? But if you wait till you feel ready, you'd still be stuck there. And the same could be said for getting into a new relationship. So I didn't plan to meet somebody quite as soon as I did after my marriage ended. I met somebody 4 months after I left my partner. And honestly, was I ready? No. No. But all of the advice at the time was, well, if you wait till you feel ready, it'll never happen. And this could be a good thing. And this opportunity might pass you by. And so take the leap. So I was very honest, and I was saying I'm on a journey and I'm not healed and I'm not sure I'm past it yet. And I've got a long way to go. But if you want to give this a shot, we can give it a try. And, we're 10 months in now, and it's been wonderful. I've really enjoyed being in a relationship with this person, and I love how they make me feel, and I love the person that I am when I'm with them, which is even more important, I think. So waiting to feel ready, waiting to feel confident, that's part of your journey. You actually just have to dive right in and just do it. And the same can be said for boundaries. Confidence isn't, I feel 100% sure I want to say this. Confidence is just saying it anyway, because you know that action needs to be taken. You can worry about whether or not you fudged it up later, okay? It's, I feel uncomfortable, but I am going to say it anyway. I do feel uncomfortable. I don't want to disappoint you. I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to upset you. But I also don't want to continue feeling like this. That is where the boundary comes in. So you find the confidence and the gumption to just say what it is that you need to say. And you do it shaking and you do it strong. And it takes a brave, courageous person to do it, even if you are shaking. Shaking and feeling shame and guilt and nerves and all the things that we've discussed before doesn't make you weak. It makes you strong. A boundary might sound something like, I'm just not comfortable with that. It's simple. It's not perfect, but you're just being honest. And the key truth here, and every time you follow through on something like that, you build trust, not with them. You build trust in yourself. You're like, oh, I can't believe I said that, but I've actually did it. I said I wasn't going to speak. I wanted some space. I said I would take a week, and I did it. I didn't think I'd last 2 days, but I managed it. I lasted 7 days. I took the time I needed for me. I didn't know I was capable of that. And it's like, oh, I don't know, like for women, it can be a bit like losing weight. It's like, whoa, I didn't know I could like feel this great. And, you start to feel a bit confident whenever you start to make changes. And you're like, I didn't think I was capable of this. I never thought I'd stick to it. But here I am on day 7 and I've lost 2 pounds. And yeah, so you get that confidence comes on the journey, no matter what it is, in a relationship, ending a relationship, going on a diet, all the things. So confidence is definitely something that comes, and it's a total myth that you need it in order to be at one with yourself on this. Another example of this is my current partner, had said to me, do you know, if you started a YouTube channel, this could go really well for you. And I'm like, sure, dude. Yeah. So they're like a gamer and spends like 80% of their time on games. And I've got no issues with that. That's cool. It's a bit different from what I'm used to, but it's not impacting my relationship. So I really don't mind. And they were like, if you did this would be really good for you. And I was like, really? And there was no sense of like, well, what would I talk about? And I was like, YouTube, I don't even know how to use YouTube. I don't know how to edit videos. I don't know how to do anything. And then I thought about some events that I've been doing. So I've been touring my poetry book, Her Body Remembers, and The Girl They Targeted. And I've been doing an event called Cup of Cake and Courage. And we have a conversation circle after I've done some spoken word poetry about the trauma and everything else. And I'm finding that it's kind of taken that sort of people are asking me questions, and then people come to me and they ask me for advice. And I've always sort of been in that place where people come and say, Jenna, you've been through a thing. Could you maybe offload some of your experience here? You always know what to say. I'm like, sure, okay. And then I had this whole idea around, well, actually, most of the things that people want to talk to me about are about boundaries. And I've been on a journey with that. And I've learned about that. And I've read about that. And I've done all the things. And I thought, well, do you know what? I could probably do this. And I'm also in this era of my life where I'm like, with my boyfriend saying, why don't you try this? I'm sort of going for it right now because I trust his judgment, and I'll try anything once, So here I am, succeeding or failing, we don't know. This is only video number 5, 6, can't really remember which one we're on now. So I wasn't feeling terribly confident with that. The idea of starting a YouTube channel, that was just like, no. Here I am. I believe I'm on YouTube, so I clearly did it. And I wasn't feeling terribly confident before I started. So yeah, and who's even to say that I feel confident whenever I'm doing these videos? I'm only talking to you about my truth. You can't really go wrong whenever you're just telling your truth, can you? Part of it is, I'm a writer, so I write up part of it, partially scripted on my laptop in front of me, just to make sure I stay focused on the points, make sure that when I go off on a tangent, I come back to where I'm going. So no, I mean, like, you don't need to get it right every time. And you don't always have to say your boundary perfectly either. You just have to start. And that's basically what I've done, because confidence isn't the requirement that you need for boundaries. It's the result of them. And that's the most important thing. Saying that you're going to do something. So I started off by saying, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. And I'm going to start, and I did it the same. It was the same. I'm going to publish my book. I'm going to publish my book. And I kept saying it. And then I eventually took action, and I did it. So if you've been waiting to feel ready for anything, well, this is your sign. You don't need to feel confident. You just need to start it. You just need to begin. So if that is what you needed to hear today, then let that be your key takeaway. If you haven't been feeling ready, let this be the video that tells you, go be ready, go do it shaking, go and do it inexperienced, and just gather experience on the way. Just go off and do it for you. You don't need confidence to live your life. You don't need confidence to set your boundaries. Confidence will come when it is ready. Protect your peace. Your body remembers.